In this video, we will be learning about sampling theory. So what exactly is sampling? Why do we have to do sampling? What all ways in which we can do sampling? We will be learning that in this video. What is sampling basically? So imagine or think of you are cooking soup, right? You are cooking a giant pot of soup, a huge uh, pot of soup you're preparing, maybe for 100 people or 200 people. You're cooking soup. To know if it tastes good, you do not need to drink the whole pot to check whether the soup tastes good. Will you drink the entire pot of soup? No. You will just take one spoonful of it. You take one spoon of soup, you taste it. So here, just by tasting one spoon of soup, you have an idea about the taste of the soup in the entire pot. So sampling is like that spoonful. It is the process of selecting a small part of a larger group to understand the whole thing. Fine? So how this sampling helps us? We often want to know something about the huge group of people. Like I want to know about all the residents of the country, all the citizens of the country I want to know. But is it possible for me to reach every citizen of a country? But studying every single person is impossible. So what we do is randomly we will pick some people from the entire population, and based on them we will perform a study, right? Sampling solves this by letting us study a subset. We are taking a subset of the entire population. We need to make sure this subset represents or mirrors the whole group. It should be a representative of the entire population. So then it will be easy for us to study a small subset and to draw conclusion about a large group. So when we go into sampling, we have certain terms that we use. The terms that we use in sampling are, first one, population. Population is nothing but the entire group you want to draw conclusions about. So the whole target group based on which you want to draw a conclusion, like all students in India, we consider that as a population. Then second term is sample, the specific group of individuals that you will actually collect data from. Say actually when you wanted to study all students in India, it is impossible for you to reach every possible student in India. So we pick a small subset from the entire set of students in India. So that small subset that you have picked, we call it as a sample. Example, if at all I have selected 1,000 students, 1,000 selected students will be treated or will be called as sample. Then third term is sampling frame, the actual list of individuals from which the sample will be drawn. See, normally when we are trying to select the samples, so how do we select the sample? Maybe from every college we ask them to give us the admission list. So we have an enrollment database, a school enrollment database or a college enrollment database. From that we randomly tick certain names, right? So we are randomly picking some names from there. So that list from which we are trying to collect the samples from, we call it as the sampling frame, then sampling unit. The individual member or the object that you have selected for the study is called sampling unit. So let me say, out of the list of students that you have ticked, one student, one specific student is called sampling unit, right? So you will have many such sampling unit forming the sample. Then we use one more word called census. So you people might be aware of this particular word in recent days, because currently India is going through its census, right? So census is a study that collects data from every member of the population, from each and every person. We are trying to collect the data. That process is called census. Example, collecting data from all the students of the class. So instead of randomly picking certain number of students and asking them for the data, we are trying to collect the data from every student of the class. So that is census. Then we make use of two more terms called parameter and statistic. So parameter is a term which is associated with the population, a value that describes the entire population. Let me say mean of the population or variance of the population. So that value which describes the entire population, I call it as parameter. Then one example for it is the average age of every single person in the city. So all the people in the city is my population. So if their average age is considered, then it is a parameter. Then what is this statistic? Statistic is a value that describes the sample. So if at all you have randomly selected only 100 members from the city, or 100 people from the city, or 500 people from the city. So for that 500 people, if at all you have calculated the average age, then it is called statistic. The average age of 500 people you have interviewed, it becomes a statistic. So one easy method to remember, parameter word starts with P, so it represents population. Statistic word starts with S, so it represents sample. So it will be easy for you to remember. Parameter is for population, statistic is for sample. Okay. So why is this sampling so important? Why do we have to perform sampling? First and foremost reason is it saves resources. See, whenever you want to collect data, then obviously you will have expenses or expenditure, which is in terms of money, in terms of manpower. You will have to put in effort, you will have to invest money for collecting the data. So if at all you need to collect data from all the citizens of this city, then the amount of money that you spend and the amount of effort that you have to put will be very high. Instead, if at all you are selecting only 500 people, and from that 500 people you are collecting the data, then the amount of money that you spend and the amount of manpower that you spend will be less. And the infrastructure are also limited. See, for data storage and for many other purposes, you require a lot of infrastructure for collecting the data, processing the data, everything. So once the volume of the data is too huge, then the infrastructure required also will be very huge. So if at all we go with sampling, then we will be saving on money, manpower, and the infrastructure that you need will be limited. Then the second reason is it saves time. We know that time is very precious. So many a times we want the result of the study that we are performing very soon. We need it maybe today. or maybe in another few minutes or in another few hours. So under such situations, studying the entire population and trying to analyze the entire data will be impossible. So if at all you wanted the result in 10 years, right, in 10 years time, then okay, you can study each and every person. But you don't have that much time available. You want the results immediately, very soon. So you cannot study the entire population. The third reason being feasibility. Sometimes you simply cannot reach everyone. See, let me say I want to study about all the people in our country. So is it feasible or is it possible for me to go to every single person in the country? So it is not feasible, it is not possible. So under such situations, I will have to go with sampling. So the importance in terms of time and cost, as I said, efficiency at its best. See, we will be able to take a sample and try to study. We will be able to save the time and the cost involved. So efficiency will be more. Conducting a census or surveying everyone is astronomically expensive. It will be very costly process. So sampling allows us smaller data collection teams, faster data entry and processing, cheaper logistics and travel. So very easily we will be able to process it and analyze and derive results if at all we are going with a sample. Sometimes the testing process or the data collection process might be destructive in nature. In quality control, maybe I want to study the quality of a particular product being manufactured. Then in quality control, some items must be destroyed to be tested. Let me take an example. If at all you have this crackers, normally during Diwali you use crackers, right? So crackers quality is decided based on the amount of sound it makes or amount of light it throws out. So I want to test the quality of the crackers. So testing how much sound a cracker makes needs us to burst the cracker and test. So we will have to burst the cracker and then test it. So if at all I go with a census method, that is all the crackers that are manufactured, if at all I have to test it, if you tested every cracker, you would have no cracker left for selling. All the crackers that you manufactured, if you tested it, then you will have no crackers left to sell, no? So in that case, you will not study or you will not test all the crackers. You will randomly select certain crackers in the manufacturing process. Every here and there, you will pick one cracker and you will try to burst it and check whether the quality is good or not. So sampling is the only option available here. If at all you have destructive testing procedures, then sampling is compulsory for us. So for sampling, whenever we have to randomly or whenever we have to pick samples or whenever we have to identify sampling units from a population, for that we have two possible methods or two possible paths. One is called probability sampling, the other one is called non-probability sampling. What is probability sampling? Every single person or every single object in the population has equal or a known non-zero chance of being picked. Let me say by random lottery procedure. I write all your names in slips and put it in a hat. I nicely shuffle the hat and pick one name from the hat. Then everyone actually had equal chances, right? Anybody's name could have been picked. So everyone has an equal chance. So that is probability sampling method. The other one is non-probability sampling. Here the selection is based on the researcher's choice or accessibility. Not everyone has a chance. Let me say I wanted to perform a study, or let me say principal has come on rounds and he wants to know how my teaching is. So to know about that, he randomly asks, or he comes and asks me, send the three students from your class. I will ask them questions. Based on how they answer, I will be assessing how you teach. So in that case, what I will do, I will not randomly pick three students from the class. I know who are good in the class, who will answer well in the class. So I will pick only those students. So every student will not have equal chance. So that method of being judgmental and being very choicy in picking, so that method is called non-probability sampling. So the different methods of probability sampling and non-probability sampling we will be studying in our next video.